coming. I'm so pleased that we are here to welcome the team from Epoch Senior Living. I just want to give a wave out to Taylor Burns over there, who brought the delicious refreshments. You know, you bring cannolis and they will come. Thank you so much. And now you're in for a real treat here. We have Alicia Seaver, who's the Vice President of Memory Operations with the company Epoch Senior Living, and she's going to talk about normal aging and memory loss. Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you. Hi. Good afternoon, Walpole. How are you? I've been here before. Okay, good. Good enough. You know what? I probably didn't bring scones, so you forgot me right away. Meanwhile, thank you. I know that 3/4 of you are here for the desserts, so I hope that you enjoyed them. Meanwhile, let me tell you, actually, let me qualify to be here before you. My name is Alicia Seaver, indeed. And this is my 33rd year serving memory-impaired people. It's crazy. I look 21, right? You're like, how did you do that? You're 21. And truth of the matter is this. I know more about memory-impaired people than I do regular people, and I choose them. I would choose them again today if one were before me. So I want you to know that I bring experience to you. The other thing I want you to know is that we have a community in Westwood. And when we have a community in a town nearby, we want to come out to all the local towns and educate people. And it's not because we need your help at the community, because sadly, the community that we have in Westwood is full. So I'm not here looking for business. So everybody can relax. I have nothing to sell except the cannoli chips. And actually, we're giving them away. So I just want you to know, though, that when we come into a market, any area, a geographic, so to speak, Taylor and I go out on the road together to places like this, any place that'll have us, actually, and we talk about Alzheimer's. We have to talk about it. Because is anybody here still driving? Oh, goody, look at all these drivers, excellent. So when you leave today and you're driving, every 5th mailbox, 5, has a memory-impaired person behind it. So we should be talking about it. But today is let you off the hook day. Because what I'm about to tell you today is that it's normal to come out of Target and not know where your car is. Yay! It's normal to use the fob for your car, not to lock it, but to find it. That's normal aging. It's normal aging to be running around screaming at people for your glasses when they're on your face. That's normal aging. What we've learned and what we know in research is that going into 2026, we're busier than we've ever been. We're busy people. Raise your hand if you're a busy person. You wouldn't be here. The busier your life, the more you're going to forget. Sorry. Meanwhile, a body in motion, a brain in motion, you have to work it. I don't understand. We don't talk about it enough. But I don't know when everybody has gone to a physical last. But at your last physical, did you talk about your brain health? Good. Sure. Apple, table, penny. I can write them down for you. I have the answers to the quizzes in my briefcase if you need them. I'm happy. Meanwhile, we're going to have some fun, and we're going to cover some information lickety-split. Can you hear me okay? Goody. Can you see this all right? Okay, good. So what we are talking about today is the difference between what is normal aging and what isn't. And Alzheimer's and these other 99 dementias are not a part of normal aging. It's not normal or regular to have Alzheimer's. Okay? Make sense? Goody. You can feel like you have Alzheimer's. I did, pulling in. Because I knew I had been here before, but I couldn't put my finger on when or how or what I did, and if it was even pleasant. I couldn't put my finger on any of the data, but the truth of the matter is it's been a busy few years for me. But let's get through some of this. Memory and aging. Subtle changes in memory occur naturally as a part of the aging process, but the brain can produce new brain cells at any age, which is a blessing. So significant memory loss is not an inevitable part of aging. So let's pause for a second and think about what can you do to produce new brain cells? Any ideas in this room? You could eat healthier, sure. Stay active. Challenge yourself with new things. And if you could learn something new that would put you leaps and bounds ahead of other people. I mean it. If you took a tap class and you never tapped before. If you took a foreign language, and it doesn't even matter if you use the information. It doesn't matter if you use it. You can grow brain cells by taking a cooking class. It's very, very important for all of us, to think about these things and to challenge ourselves in ways in which we can grow some cells. Many older adults worry about their memory and their thinking abilities, and they might report in their 50s or 60s that their memories are slipping. But memory loss can happen at any time. Pause again. If you ever came to our community in Westwood to see Taylor and to get another scone, you might bump into some of our residents. And our residents are not all 88 years old, pleasantly confused. We have residents in their 50s. So we need to open our minds up that these diseases of the brain are not just for the old people. They're for the young people too. Okay? We have people that have early onset Alzheimer's and they're in their 40s. It's real. So, and the reason I educate you to that is so that if you do ever visit one of our communities, you don't let them out. Because they will walk up to you and say, hey, I work here, the door's stuck. And then they're gone. Everybody's forgotten a name or an appointment or some fact that was on the tip of their tongue, right? Sure, there wouldn't be a phrase tip of the tongue. Good, good, good. When we're young, we often disregard these lapses. I think when we're younger, we buy into that. We're in, yes, well, we're indestructible for sure. But we don't worry when we're young about the things we can't remember. As we age, it becomes more concerning. Make sense? Yes. Time is memory's worst enemy. Time. You notice the longer the space between what's happened and recalling it, it gets harder. Yes? Please say yes, Walpole. Okay, good. Because I just admitted that to you about being 7 years since I'd been here last. I remembered being here, but I don't remember anything else. But I remembered it being warm. I got a very warm welcome here. At least I remembered that. Sometimes the changes to our memory can occur sooner than anticipated or faster than maybe we expected. We might mistake the natural slowing of mental processes for true memory impairment. And the truth is, what we need to recognize as a group is that our brains age just like everything else. You're just not talking about it. You notice that your hips, things age. Our bodies are changing. Our brains do too. So it's okay. I hope it's okay. Our vision changes. Maybe our hearing changes. Maybe the gait in which we walk changes. Things change with age. So understand that our brains are going to change too. And maybe it's going to take a little longer. Maybe it's going to take you a little longer to recall something. That doesn't mean you have a dementia. It means that you need to slow down. Make sense? Good, good, good. The hippocampus, which is a region of the brain involved in the formation and the retrieval of memories, it deteriorates with age. So it's like having a file cabinet and it's got dents and maybe the drawers don't lock anymore, and if you get the chance to open one, it's not in order, right? So it gets harder for people. Hormones and proteins that protect and repair brain cells and that stimulate neural growth also decline with age. Older people often experience a decreased blood flow to the brain. Well, that can impair memory and lead to other changes in cognition for people. Normal aging versus memory loss. Occasional memory lapses can be frustrating, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's cause for concern. It really doesn't. Do you know that you are supposed to forget boring people? It's normal aging to be with someone boring and then not remember it. Now, if they're spicy and they trigger emotions in you, you're going to remember. Even if they tick you off, you're going to remember them. But if it's boring and flat, it may not stick. So when someone says, hey, remember that gathering 7 years ago? That doesn't mean I'm necessarily impaired. At least that's what I said to the receptionist. I'm like, maybe it was just boring here. I don't know. But if something's boring, I wouldn't expect to remember all the details. That's more the point. Age-related memory changes are not the same as dementia. The key difference between age-related memory loss and dementia is that age-related memory loss doesn't interfere with your daily living. You're still able to get through a day without help. Whereas the people that we serve can't get through a day without help. So even though I can forget things, I still drove myself here independently. I still pushed out at least the presentation I was supposed to. GPS, she's fresh. More to the point, I'm still able to get through the day independently. And when you live with a true impairment, a true deficit in the brain, you need help to get through the day. Decision-making abilities are the same as always. Dementia itself is marked by a persistent, disabling decline in 2 or more intellectual abilities, such as memory, language, reasoning, abstract thinking. There's actually criteria to warrant a diagnosis of dementia. And just because you forget things doesn't mean you have it. Just because your mother had it doesn't mean you're going to get it. Just because your sister had it doesn't mean you'll get it. It doesn't work that way all the time. And truth, take it from a forgetter. You can forget things. That's perfectly okay. Other causes of memory loss. Memory loss doesn't automatically mean that you have dementia. It could mean that you're living with a significant amount of stress, anxiety, depression, a vitamin B12 deficiency. And I don't know if anyone in Walpole has ever had an untreated urinary tract infection. But if you have an untreated urinary tract infection, you can look like you have Alzheimer's. I mean that sincerely. We see it all the time, and we're not in the business of serving people with urinary tract infections. Because we're in the business of a memory impairment, we need to make sure that that's something people really have. Does that make sense? Yeah. Sure. So understanding that even dehydration can leave people feeling confused. Anybody in this room ever been dehydrated? You all better raise your hands. Okay, raise 2 hands. Dehydration is a big, big deal. And it's a big deal for us in the communities. I don't know what it is about some of the people in the generation that I might serve and their resistance to things that are good for them. But water is one of them. And if I say drink water, I'm not going to tell you what they're going to say back to me. So I say, well, you better drink it now because I'm going to charge for it later, and then they'll drink it. So we do trick people because we know it matters. Like, hey, it's free now. I don't know what they're going to do later. Drink it now because we know the value. And we're not trying to add to people's confusion. So drink water. Drink a lot of water. Look at the side effects of the medications you take, because a lot of them can leave you feeling confused or forgetting. So it's important to just pay attention to those things, because they can make somebody feel like they have dementia when they really don't. Mild cognitive impairment. Mild cognitive impairment is like a layover space in between what is normal age-related cognitive change and the more serious side of it, which would be dementia. Mild cognitive impairment can involve challenges with memory and language and thinking and judgment that are greater than normal age-related change. Sometimes it's difficult to distinguish the difference between what is a mild cognitive impairment and what is a dementia. But losing or misplacing things, forgetting conversations or important information, remembering the names of people you've recently met, difficulty following the flow of conversation, that's okay. You know, it's okay. We don't need to react to it. The truth is, if you've not slept well, you've not eaten well, you're a little dry, all those things can play a part in not remembering someone's name. And that doesn't mean you have dementia. Has anyone ever been in the grocery and you see someone and they say hello to you and you want to die? You want to die because you know them, but you can't remember the name of the person? Good. Oh, praise. I should live in this town. No wonder I felt so welcome the last time. But then you get up at 2:30 in the morning because you have to use the bathroom. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I remember who that was. Does that happen? Yes. Normal aging. It's normal. So sadly for you, that you had to quiet your brain that much to really be able to pull that data. But the beauty is that it came. Make sense? Goody. Oh, goody. The warning signs of Alzheimer's. There's no point in talking about normal aging and memory loss without talking about the things we look for that are red flags to a dementia. Memory loss that interferes with your day-to-day function, getting to and from, eating 3 meals, in and out of your hygiene, all of it. If you can get through that independently, still yet, you are A-OK. Raise your hand if you're A-OK. Good. Challenges with planning and or solving problems. You were still able to plan to get here today in time for the scones. I know the truth. Good, but you did it. Difficulty performing familiar tasks. Did everybody brush their teeth this morning? You didn't look at the toothbrush and wonder what it was for? Seriously, then you're good. I have residents at Westwood right now still looking at the toothbrush going, what in God's name do I do with this thing? Is it for my hair? Is it for my shoe shining kit? Or is this really for my teeth? Because that's what Alzheimer's looks like. It's confusion. It's not always forgetting. Confusion with time or place. Do you know that it's winter? Okay.
Not exactly winter.
Okay, mister. Those are some fighting words as I'm stuck in the wind tunnel outside wanting to die before I walked in. But you understand the point. You understand the time of year. You understand, hopefully right now, what time of day we're in. You're not going to come up to me after this presentation and ask me where breakfast is, are you? Okay, well, our residents are. Our memory impaired residents are going to do that this afternoon. So if you feel good about all those things that I just pushed out, you're in really, really good shape from a cognitive perspective. There's my diagnosis. You're all terrific. Understanding visual images and spatial relationships. Is anybody having problems right now? Do you know what that means? Okay, I'll show you. Can everybody see this? Do you think this is really Colorado, Boulder? No. You're fine. But do you know that I have residents that would look at that and start to shiver because they would think that they're in it? Do you know that I have to put a fireplace on the TV to warn people? It's real. And it's really not as humorous as you think. But do you understand the difference and the contrast I'm drawing for you? Perfect. New problems with words in speaking and or writing. Everybody good? Pretty much? Good. Misplacing things? No, not in Walpole. Like, are you kidding me? You could hear me. First of all, I live in Franklin. And if I can't find something, I feel you'd hear me screaming looking for it. I don't even care. I'm never going to meet you again, likely. I can be honest. I look for things. It could be in my hand. I remember being on the phone. I don't have to, just be honest. And being like, where is my phone? You're on it, you meatball. Oh, my gosh. I'm on it. What that tells me is slow down. Pause. If we feel like we're struggling, pause. And it will all come back if we give it a chance. The beauty that we have, the gift, is the ability to retrace your steps when you lose something. I have a teenager at home. God bless America. And when I'm retracing my steps, I say, shh, don't talk to me. Because I'm going to have to do it again. I can't, if I'm retracing my steps to try and find something, I can't be interrupted or it's not going to juice for me. I need to find it and I'll get back to you. So hush your mush, I'll be back. And I go through it and I come back. Because if you're interrupted, it's not going to solve. Decreased and or poor judgment. When everybody got out this morning and you realized it was cold, did you have a jacket on? Good. Withdrawal from work or social activities. You're all here. Good. Well, I don't even need to talk about it. It's not about how many. It really isn't. It's about understanding if you're living some of those challenges, what's causing it, right? It could be the side effect of a medication. So I would be paying attention if I had any of those, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean Alzheimer's. It could mean I need to amp up my water intake. Short-term memory and learning. The diseases of the brain that we specialize in attack the short-term memory first. Does that make sense? God bless the family members that are all going to call their loved ones at my community this afternoon. And the first thing they're going to say is, hi, Mom, how was lunch? And then I'm a goner. I'm running for my car. Because they don't remember lunch. So then they say, lunch? What lunch? I didn't have lunch in this snake pit you left me in, right? Sure. So short-term first, long-term second. Make sense? Good. So like I said earlier, so talk about the old days. Talk about the old times. Oh my gosh, you just saved my life. Look at that. Thank you. What a doll. Jeepers and snowflake pants. It's incredible. Thank you. Forgetting a name or an appointment, remembering it later. We just talked about it. It's normal aging. Forgetting names of close friends and family members, like visitors you had that day or what you had for dinner, not so normal, okay? Occasionally forgetting something that was on the tip of your tongue. Happens to me all the time because my brains are faster than my lips, I feel, right? Meanwhile, mixing up words when you're memory impaired, bed instead of table, very common. You know, calling a doorway a garage. I understand it. I'm like, yeah, sure, open the garage. Of course, that makes sense to them. Occasionally forgetting something you were told. Normal aging, ladies and gentlemen. You should all be feeling so much better by now. You're about cured. But it's normal to forget. versus asking the same information over and over again. If I ask you every day the same questions, or I ask the same questions several times a day, worry about me. Okay? Goody. Occasionally misplacing items. I feel like we really covered this. It's normal. How you find them is really the trick. Forgetting parts of an experience. I talked about it earlier. Boring. It's normal. Versus forgetting an entire experience. At least I knew when I pulled in that I'd been here before. I'm quick. I'll justify whatever I've done. But at least I remembered that. Forgetting where you parked. Bingo bango. Even at Wegmans, it just doesn't matter. It is normal. I was just talking to a colleague recently, and I said, what about trying to open the car that isn't yours? He goes, oh, please. I did it. I did do it. I don't know. But now I drive a navy blue car. It's not common. So I'm like, I feel very good about that. It's navy blue. But when I drove a silver car, I opened a lot of other silver cars. Neither here nor there. But anywho, becoming slower to react is a part of normal aging. Getting very confused when trying to plan or think things through is not. Becoming less able to manage multiple tasks when distracted is a part of normal aging for us, versus the inability to complete things independently. That's different. Make sense? Everybody okay? Goody. Making a bad decision once in a while. Oh my gosh, it's finally in writing. It's okay. It doesn't mean we're impaired. Well, she put her whole savings at risk. Okay, well, it was a bad decision one time. It's okay. Versus having frequently poor judgment, especially when assessing risk, leaving themselves vulnerable to any number of scams or what's out there. Occasionally missing a monthly payment versus the cable company calling and saying we have a $1,200 credit from your mother because she keeps paying the same bill. Actually, she paid the bill 9 times this month. Because you know what? We pay a bill, we put it down. And then the next day we pick up the bill and say, oh dear, I got to pay this, and we put it down. It makes perfect sense to me. But that's not a part of normal aging. Having trouble finding the right word sometimes. It's normal. Versus our memory impaired population, they have frequent challenges around finding the right word or calling things the wrong name. Needing to concentrate a bit harder is normal, versus having trouble following or joining a conversation at all. Losing the thread if you're distracted or there are so many people speaking at once, versus difficulty following the flow of what is a normal conversation. Memory impaired, that's hard for memory impaired people to do. And so what they will do instead is duck and hide, so that they're not exposed. Orientation. Well, I'm sure it's hard when you're retired. Raise your hand if you're retired. Is it hard to track the days? Yeah. Sometimes. Sure. I work, but I can still mess up the days. Like if there's a Monday holiday, that whole week I'm off. I'm off in a number of ways, but I'm really off in, what do you mean it's Wednesday? Oh, well, Monday was a holiday. I'm like, gosh, like, they're trying to kill us. So that can be confusing. So becoming confused about the day of the week and figuring it out later is normal, versus losing track of the entire season. You know, I could go poll my people right now in Westwood and ask them all, what season we're in. And there would be 4 different answers you could get to a season, right? Winter, spring, summer, fall. And I'm sure hear all 4. I'm sure of it, because they don't track time well. So hopefully everybody knows we're about to approach winter. because that's what's about to happen. Walking into a room and forgetting why you went there, we talked about it. Not knowing why. You know, we have residents that walk into a room and they're not sure why they're there. Or they're not sure, they wake up in the morning and they're not sure why they're in our community at all. What am I doing here? I wasn't the one with the problem. No, we know, we're just protecting you from the rest of them. Those things really, you know, they happen. Temporarily forgetting a destination. Do you know that you can be in your car and really, for a quick second, forget where you're going? Walpole, it's real. It happens. I blame everything on everything. I'm I'm the youngest of 6, and I work in the dementia field. So I'm like, well, I have too much going on. Of course I made a wrong turn. I don't know what town I'm in. I have too much on my plate. This is what I do. The truth of the matter is, you can forget a destination and then snap back to it and get to it. Our memory impaired people don't have that ability. Vision and perception. Visual changes related to cataracts and other changes in the eye, like cloudy vision. You understand that that's all normal aging. Okay. Problems interpreting visual information is different than cataracts. Interpreting that as real and cataracts are two very different things, right? Okay. Difficulty judging distance on stairs and misinterpreting patterns. You know, if a floor is shiny, you know, our residents might think it's ice. They could think it's wet with water. And, you know, good enough people come into our communities every day and they're quick to judge us because they don't know what they're talking about. And they'll say, oh, the floors aren't shiny, they're dirty, we should get out of here. And the truth is, we don't shine our floors because it's not good for our consumer. And the same with our artwork. You know, we have a non-glare glass on the artwork so that the residents can see it. Because we don't build for the visitor, we build for the resident. But it's like things that we just know and we build and design for, other people don't get it. You know, garnish. We use garnish when we prepare a meal and then serve it to our residents, because garnish helps memory impaired people identify mashed potato. It's not because I'm trying to hide something dirty on the plate. It's because I know what I'm doing. And people need to understand that my residents have a challenge with vision and perception. So it's my responsibility to make sure the mashed potato pops on a white piece of china. So I will put a green fluffy thing under it so that it pops and is lifted off the plate so that the memory impaired person can see it and then hopefully eat it and then hopefully love it. Misinterpreting the patterns and the reflections, those things happen all the time. You know, the good news is senior living's come a long way. The bad news is I've been in it too long. And I remember back in the early 90s, we would trim out everything we did in either a burgundy or a hunter green. And good enough, I would have residents and they would be standing in the middle of the carpet and I'd be saying, come along, and they wouldn't because they didn't want to step over what looked like a hole. And it was just dark green trim. So I learned quickly not to have patterns because patterns confuse memory impaired people. So now when you come into communities in 2025, especially ours, you should look at what I've done, what we've done, because it's incredible for the memory impaired person. You don't have to want to live there to come check it out. You could say I was at the Walpole Council on Aging and Alicia told me I should come here and get another scone and check out what you've built. Because you would see that my carpet is plain and that my paintings are non-glare and that we do these things and fold them in so that our residents finally feel like they fit into something. And it really works. Color and contrast and those kinds of things come into play too. And so don't mood and behavior. I know there's nobody moody in Walpole till you get to Route 1. I saw some moods pulling in, just saying. But being weary of work and family and social obligations, ladies and gentlemen, I just gave you your ticket out. It's normal. versus becoming withdrawn and not showing up anymore, not normal. I would be worried. I would look around this room and I would get a good look at every single person in this room so that you notice when someone's missing, so that when they are missing, you inquire about them. We shouldn't judge it either, because but for the grace of God, go me. And we need to change that. No one wants a disease of the brain, and we shouldn't be judging people because they have one, or because of the silly things they do because they have one. We should continue to welcome them with open arms, because as soon as we don't, we lose them. Make sense? Sure. Feeling a bit low or anxious, normal, versus getting unusually sad, anxious, or frightened, low in self-confidence. Developing specific ways of doing things and then getting irritated when the routine is disrupted. Anybody? I'm a routine kid. I have to be. I don't think I would have made it here today if I didn't have a routine. But if somebody disrupts my routine, I am looking for you, because you're foiling all my plans. And it can be as simple as, putting my bag. When I get home, I put my coat down, I put my bags down, I put my keys down, and my phone, like everything's in a line, so that when I leave in the morning, I walk the same line and I take it all with me. Don't touch my stuff. But I don't live alone, so inevitably my stuff gets touched. And when it does, I'm all Irish. I get mad. I don't touch my things. It's fun. But anywho, versus becoming irritable or easily upset over nothing, seemingly. When to see a doctor? Right away. Like, it doesn't matter what you notice. If you notice something, make an appointment. Don't be afraid, because it's so important for us to get you whatever it is if it's a vitamin B12 deficiency, let's fix it.
Our primary care doctors like trained to understand this.
Well, you would hope. That would be a question I would ask them, but I would think. Sure. No, you don't need to be sorry. But like, hey, a primary care doc, I don't know, but something's going on. But it's okay to talk about it. What we shouldn't do is be ashamed about anything. If we're feeling something or we're living something, you have a primary care doc for a reason. Let them know what it is. It could be something like a thyroid issue. And if it is, let's take care of it so we can get back to your quality of life. And if it's a memory issue, let's get ahead of it. Because the people that get ahead of it have an easier go of it than the people that don't. So if you notice something, call it. Super important. Doctor can assess risks. Early diagnosis is helpful, of course. Coping with the diagnosis. You know what? It's difficult, I'm sure, for families to deal with a diagnosis of Alzheimer's, but life doesn't end with Alzheimer's. We're living proof of that. It has to change. It just needs to be different. But we still do things. We still go to concerts. We still see the Rockettes. We still go to the Celtics. Life goes on. But it needs to be different. Instead, somebody needs to help me with my seatbelt. Maybe. Somebody might need to remind me to put it on. Life changes, but it's okay. And we can still do it, and we can still have good quality of life, even with a tough diagnosis. Okay? Goody. Dementia is life-altering, but with early intervention and education, planning, and support, you can have an easier time of it. We support families that are never going to reside with us. That's what we do. What Taylor does over at that community in Westwood is open, free to the public, meaning she hosts monthly educational sessions about dementia every month. This month, it's the winter woes, right? Right, winter woes. So you could go over to Bridges in Westwood, go to this educational session, no charge. She probably won't even take your phone number. That's open to anyone in the community. So that helps people, because information is power, whether it's applicable or not. The other thing that she does is she hosts caregiver support groups. There was one today. I was there. Lone Ranger came in. Sometimes there's 10 people, sometimes there's one, but it doesn't matter. We host them every month because there are people at home trying to do this, and it's not easy, and we want to be there for them. I host 2 support groups on Zoom. I started them in the pandemic, and I was promised that as soon as people stopped attending them, I could stop them. It's 2025, moving into 2026. I log on to the support group the other night, and there's 40 people from all over the country on that thing. It's never, so I've broken the bad news to myself. Self, you're doing these the rest of your life because you jumped in the soup and now you can't get out of it. And to know that those things are available to you, you know, we're not leaving you flyers to sell you an apartment. That's not what we're doing. But we are leaving flyers here to tell you when the support groups are, when the educational sessions are, and then you can have another scone. Because I run the company, we're food driven. And we enjoy to break bread and do dementia. And so you could come and have a scone and enjoy a support group and then go home. And the same with education, because these things really help families. And everybody can't afford senior living. Senior living is not free. It's an expense, a private, out-of-pocket expense. And every family we know doesn't have it. So we want to be a support to people that are doing this at home. So you should tell people who we are and what we're doing, because it's job security for Taylor. She's a good kid. Oh my God, she's so used to me, she doesn't even blink. But the truth of the matter is, it's the truth of the matter. Look at this. So it's over. You're all okay. But I try to give you the all Irish version, meaning I like to get through the data quick because I want to take questions, so long as they're relative to what I just presented you. Because I feel like you might have some, and I'm happy to do that. If you don't have questions, I'm fine. But here's the thing. Hopefully what you got out of that presentation in 40 minutes is that likely everyone in this room is okay. For this moment, everyone in this room is okay. Hi. You can ask it. Yeah. Sure. I agree with everything. Well, the truth of the matter is I'm paid $1 quadrillion to do whatever they want. So I do it. Like if they wake up and they say, today's the day I'm quitting my job, I'm like, I'll write it. If you're resigning, today's the day. We train, I do a lot of training too, you can tell. But we train the teams to go with the flow and bend with the wind. Because what I've learned the hard way is when you're spending time with somebody that has a memory issue, you're not going to win anyway. So when it happens a lot about a spouse or a family member passing away, and the families are always blowing up my email, should we tell her? Should we tell her? And the answer is, if she's not going to remember, why are we telling her? Because we're going to leave her in a perpetual state of grief because they can't get over it. It's so hard though, because you probably want to throw an egg at me right now, but you can't find one. And it makes me want to back up, because I get it. Believe me, I completely understand what I'm saying. I'm saying that the therapeutic fib is more therapeutic sometimes than the truth. So yeah, we do take good care of people. We're not perfect. When you pull up to Bridges Westwood, it doesn't say on the sign, Perfection Place. It says, mistakes are welcome. We're working with people. We're working with memory impaired people. It's one big laugh but what we do is we work hard at it, and that's what people notice. And we protect their integrity and their dignity no matter what. So going with the flow, if somebody comes out of her apartment in the morning for breakfast and goes, I'm pregnant, I'm like, oh my God, we're going to be rich. I don't say, no, you're not. Because if I say, no, you're not, I'm sending that brain into a tailspin and that they're not going to come out of. It's the same thing with a hallucination. Hallucinations are common with memory impaired people. They will see and hear things that are not real. And never is it pleasant. Nobody hallucinates. James Taylor came to my bedside and finally proposed. It never happens. It's always scary or negative. So when we get hallucinations, I train the teams. If the resident comes out and says, my apartment's full of mice, you better tell them, yes, it is, and we're calling the exterminator right now and get them out of there. Because if I argue with them, I'm going to trigger more symptoms, and I'm going to make the whole situation worse. And then it's a good opportunity for us with a little role play and a skit that can keep things lively for sure. But we does that make sense? Good. We spend a lot of time doing it. Well, it's not even about wonder as much as it's about peace. Because, like imagine if I said, yeah, no, there's no mice in there, lady. You'll be all right. She's going to be ticked. And then she's going to go tell 12 other women that I'm Cruella de Vil. And then they're all going to be plotting against me. And something terrible is going to happen. You know, so I don't disrupt it. It's like whatever the brain puts before me, I hate it, but I eat it. Because I've learned the hard way. I used to be the other way. I used to be like, oh no, honey. Oh no, it's 1995. No, you don't get it. Why don't you get it? I just told you. I used to do that. Doesn't work. No, there aren't mice in your room. You're seeing things. That's a good feeling. Sure. I'm coming.
You said something, I think, about telling a resident that somebody had died,
Yep.
and you don't do that because, and I can't remember what you said.
Because I don't remember, because I don't want to leave them in a perpetual state of grief. So the question was, I heard what you said when you were talking about people passing away, right? Yeah. And we validate. I say, I totally shift gears so fast, like driving a stick, and I say, what is it about your mother anyway? What's special about her? I'll still talk about her, but I'm getting away from that death business because I'm not going to do it. Now if somebody comes to me and says, hey, look at my mother's short-term memory still works, that's a different conversation, right? So yes, I don't ever want to leave people worse than when I met them. That's how I look at it. Could this situation help, or is it going to make it worse? I ask myself that, and then I do the right thing. I have to get this fella up here. He's waited too many times, and then I'm coming.
No, what I was
Yes.
going to say is that it's not so easy to always agree with people. Like once I was told that my mother can't drive anymore, and I said, what happens if she drives? And the doctor said, you're going to jail. So then all of a sudden one day I come home, the car is gone and nobody's there, and I really go crazy. Or another situation, I had the biggest fight ever with my mother at the Council on Aging in Sharon. They were having like an ice cream sundae, and my mother was a diabetic, so she has one ice cream sundae, 2 ice cream sundaes, and then I said to her, you can't have any more, and then she didn't talk to me for like 2 days because she forgot that she ate them. But if she would have had the ice cream sundaes, they would have had to pull up the ambulance. So it's not so easy to, sometimes you have to do what's in their best interest too.
I do hear you. I do.
You can't just say, like, would you let somebody who's a diabetic eat 3 ice cream sundaes at your place?
Yes, I would, but I would make sure it was sugar-free ice cream. I most certainly would.
Well, you want to know, to this day, I regret that I didn't let my mother have the 3rd Sunday because she passed away about 3 months later.
You
She lives at 95.
You got to stop beating yourself up about that.
No, well, thank
of course, and I would have definitely, first of all, having dementia is having a terminal illness. So what you want is what you get when you reside with me. I don't care what it is. I will find a way to make a gin and tonic. I will figure it out. If you ask me for one, I'm going to get you one because I'm afraid of you to a point. And the truth of the matter is you lived your whole life on this earth. I'm not going to tell you no at the end. So when it comes to the hot fudge sundaes, I serve a lot of diabetics. We don't say no to them either. And if you want to, I don't want dinner, I want ice cream, me too. Let's have it. You don't need to be sorry about anything.
People that talk to TVs.
How about people that talk to TVs?
I have a friend whose husband talks to the news every night. The news.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's bored with his current person.
Was there or something at the end? So
I don't know.
normal?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that has anything to do with Alzheimer's, though. I don't know, but I tell you, I was watching TV recently, and I talked to the TV. That's why I got really warm behind the neck. I'm like, geez, what is she saying? I don't know. Have you watched a local trial lately? I'm in front of the TV like I went to Suffolk, and I do dementia, trying to educate people to what it is. But I'm going to think now before I talk to the TV again that you're going to be around. I don't know what that means. But what I can tell you is that if you know, I'm coming back to you too, I saw you. When you have a memory impaired person around you or with you, and you leave them in front of something disturbing on the TV, we can get negative results. I'm telling you that right now. So when you come in our communities, we work really hard to make sure we don't leave CNN on. No offense, but it's not good TV. It's not good positive TV. So I'm like, what happened to Hogan's Heroes? We need good quality TV in here because you can't get upset watching Hogan's Heroes. It's virtually impossible to get upset watching the Three Stooges, just saying it. So we make sure, because those things can impact memory impaired people. But I'm not sure about talking to the TV, although now I'm guilty as charged. How's it going? Oh, good. That makes me feel so much better. Just court trials or anything? What were you going to ask? Hang on. Go ahead. I can't hear her.
Are you supposed to agree with him, or actually causes a lot of anxiety?
Agree and stop it. Agree and stop it as opposed to disagreeing.
Because I'm facing this right now.
Yep. So if somebody's in my house saying, Alicia, downstairs on the first floor, there are strangers down there. I'm saying, oh my God, I'm going to take care of it. I mean it. Because you can't fight what's going on here. I hope your brain right now is telling you that my bottoms are black and my sweater is blue. Are they? If you're looking at me, right? Yes, well, because it's the fact. The fact is my pants are dark, right? And you can see that. But what if I tried to tell you they're yellow? You're going to say, no, Alicia, they're not yellow. They're dark. It's the same when someone says there are people downstairs. If you say, no, there aren't, it's not going to change this. It won't. So what's going to change this is for you to say, you know what? I did invite somebody in downstairs. They're taking care of that wiring issue, and they're going to be out of here in a minute.
In the past, I've said, we just had company,
Yeah,
not too long.
that's it.
And so maybe he's kind of thinking of that, but at the same time, we use everything.
Yeah,
It causes a lot of anxiety.
it does. But
So I try to.
that's it. That's the best thing you can do. Reassurance, I wish could be sold at Wegmans because you're going to need it. Because reassurance goes so much further than anything else you could do. So to say, you know what, no matter what you saw or no matter what you heard, you're safe with me. That's the answer. I totally get it. Me too. Of course not. I love that, though. I love that because that's how we learn. Hi. Hang tight. Sure.
With my husband, I've been doing that, but now
We have to change up I can't serve, first of all, I'll be shut down if I serve 3 hot fudge sundaes every day in a row, every meal. I do. I empower people, because the truth of the matter is I'd have to do it with you. I would have anyone in this room. You're decision-making people. You're making all your own choices. You can't come to a community like mine and I can't take that away from you. You still have rights. A diabetic still has a right to ice cream. They still have rights. So, but what more important, let's go to the point you mentioned before that, which is it's getting harder, or it's changing. And the truth is, just as quickly as I learn what's working, like, oh, good, we figured it out with this particular resident, in 2 weeks it's going to be different. That's the disease. It changes all the time. So we have to take care of hygiene. But you have to find a way, and that's not strange. Every family has to find a way, because at a point people refuse. No, or they'll tell me, I already did it. I took my shower. But I can't say liar, liar, pants on fire, because I'm going to kill the relationship, right? Say, oh, I didn't realize you showered. I thought you wanted my help. You asked me to help you. Came to help you. But if you're good, I'm good. And I step away from it because I want to empower people. You invited me here. Do what? Not. Oh, no, you're going to have to do it at a point. You're going to have to find a way. Like, it's a matter of, if it works for me right now, whatever you're doing, your approach works for me right now, it's not going to stay that way. So then you're going to have to tweak your approach. We're not going to change the person. They're impaired. But you can change your approach. We have to change our approach as the disease moves. The same approach isn't going to work the whole way through. Do you see what I mean? Like, at the end, for some people, it gets more difficult, or they're trying to exercise some control because they're feeling a loss of it, right? So then I walk right into the room and say, hey, is this morning shower not working anymore? Would you rather in the evening? You want to change up the rhythm around here? Because you're in charge. You decide how it goes. So what's working and what isn't? And let's figure it out. Because the truth is, doctor's order, we got to keep you clean, right? Or... No, we have to find a way. I have to find a way. Sometimes it's playing Irish music and bribing them and telling them we're going to get cold beer afterwards. No, seriously, I'm like, your girlfriend's coming. You need to freshen up. And we don't even use the word shower, because seniors with dementia resent the word shower. I say freshen up because it's an older term, right? Anybody will freshen up. Hey, you got to freshen up. You have company coming. Even if they don't have company coming, I say that. I say, remember that lady you met the other night at the dance party? She's coming back. You better go freshen up. Like, or whatever it takes. Of course, because the short-term memory is what the diseases take first. So no one's ever chased me an hour later and said, you're a liar. Because believe me, I would have a trail. Right? I mean it. And nobody knows the memory better than the person that's looking at it in a front row seat. So you could test something and say something and then ask an hour later and understand, oh, they didn't remember it an hour later. So I know that no matter what I say, it's only sticking around for 60 minutes. I have memories of an average on our campuses 20 minutes. So I can turn things around quickly. So I train the team. If they say no, get out. Respectfully walk away and go back in 20 minutes with a new hat on and introduce yourself. Good luck. I do it. No, of course not, because the truth is, when it's personal, they're going to manipulate you. It's very different. I mean, I'm talking from 30-something years of experience, only being 21. So it's different for me. And people will say that because they'll move their loved one in and be like, oh my gosh, she would never do those things. Or someone will move their mother in and say, whatever you do, don't bring her to an arts and craft because she's going to hate it. And then she's the king of the arts and crafts. So and the truth is, we're healthcare professionals. We're not related. So it's different for us. And we get different results. I'll go in, and believe me, it's not always easy. I travel with props. I have a police badge. I have a doctor's coat. I have a white coat. Are you kidding me? I'll walk in with a white coat and be like, doctor's order, cut it out. You need to take care of that. It's important. They're like, ooh. Because in the end, you wonder about who people have regard for. It's usually a physician or a police person. So I'm like, and I have the police badge. Don't you think I won't? You know, because it's authority, and it's just another way to get things done.
It's not just one person, you have
Right, oh yeah, I know, I have a lot of people. I saw your hand. Was somebody raising their hand? No? Okay, hiya.
My question is, does dementia runs into Alzheimer's?
Okay, terrific question. Did you hear? Does dementia run into Alzheimer's? Or does Alzheimer's run into dementia? Good news. No one runs into the other guy. Dementia is a very general, broad term, and there are more than 100 different types, and Alzheimer's is one of them. So, when you come to Westwood to visit, take a scone, and pull the Alicia Seaver card at the front desk, I challenge you to do that. Like, hey, I'm a friend of Alicia Seaver's. I came to check the scones. And get a tour and see what we're doing. The flip side is to understand that all the people on our campus do not have Alzheimer's. They don't, because there are 100 different dementias on the table in this country. So we don't discriminate. So I have people with a Parkinsonian dementia. I have people with a vascular dementia. We have people with a frontotemporal lobe dementia. And we have people with an alcohol dementia. And there are more dementias than anything. So hopefully that answer, like dementia here, Alzheimer's, one of the many types. Does that help? Good. That's actually a really great question. No. No, all dementias are a little different. So it really depends. It really depends.
How do we find out how to deal with our type of dementia?
Start with your primary care physician and then ask for a referral to the next layer. If you had diabetes, you would go to your primary care physician, and then hopefully they would connect you to a... Right. I love it. If you went to your primary care physician and you had asthma, they would likely refer you to a... Yes. So if you go to your primary care physician and you're talking about dementia, you would hopefully be referred to a neurologist, maybe, someone that studies and works with people that have...
Geriatric psychiatrist.
Sure, it could be a number of people. Yeah. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The only thing is, I did go to a neurologist for my husband,
Sure.
and they still can't tell.
Sure. Well, that happens sometimes. And the truth of the matter is, it's okay. Because I'm not sure that I would do anything really different. What I want you to know is we have people that live with us that have a diagnosis of dementia. And I don't know on paper what type it is. And we still do a good job. I mean it. So I want you to, it's very difficult, you can well imagine, with the tests that they're doing, to determine for every single person what it is. I mean that. And a lot of people don't want to go through all those appointments to figure it out, because that can be very difficult too for your memory impaired person. Sure.
The question I was trying to ask is, I've done all that neurologist. He has frontal lobe dementia.
Okay.
Is there a resource to find out, is there a special way to deal with that type of dementia?
Yes.
Should be looking at.
Yes, there is.
How do I find out?
So I would go to, what are you doing? You're so cute. No, I love this. She just came running towards me. I'm like, this is wonderful. She's going to give you her card, okay, Taylor? Because there are lots of things you can do. You could go to the National Institute on Aging, the website, and you could actually Google frontotemporal dementia and understand that there are places you could go to get good quality information specific. The one thing I want to say about frontotemporal dementia is that it's the most impulsive dementia there is. It doesn't matter. Don't judge impulse. I'm impulsive too. It doesn't matter. It's okay. But it is very impulsive. So, and it's quick changing, can change quickly. Whereas Alzheimer's can go for a very long time. Frontotemporal, I call it like being on a roller coaster, and maybe your belt's not 100%. Oh, it can be like that sometimes, and then it will quiet. But it's very impulsive. But you can always, you could have a conversation with Taylor. She can give you 3 websites to check and then see how you feel about those. She could float you a book. There's things we can do because there's information out there. One of those pamphlets, you know, the thin ones that were delivered to the community, one of those is on Fronto. So she could have that, yep.
Alicia has stockpiled a significant library in all of her communities.
Yeah, resources. Just things you can read. Yeah. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd like to send information.
You can, sure you can. Hi.
My mother-in-law had dementia, and then got tested, and she did have Alzheimer's.
Okay.
She used to grind her teeth all day long, and nervous energy.
Mm-hmm.
My husband's been afraid that he's going to get Alzheimer's
Okay,
dementia.
sure.
He does
There you go.
sometimes forget where his keys are and stuff like that. Can you get dementia and go into Alzheimer's? Or is it separate?
Well, Alzheimer's is a type of dementia. So anybody could get Alzheimer's, I suppose.
Can you go from short term to long term? You start,
Sure.
stay the same. It doesn't stay the same, right?
The disease? No. The disease is progressive, so it typically worsens over time. Yep. Oh, your pleasure.
Is it slow or is it fast? It depends on which one.
Depends on the person. Depends on what we're doing for the person. It depends on all kinds of things. Yep. Yep. What's going on up here? She's for what? I love it. We're gonna have a knockdown, blowout support group next month. Terrific. Listen. I'm very, very thankful. Everybody's leaving. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm highly impressed. Good.